Okay, this is chapter 15. PowerPoint say chapter 17, but it's chapter 15, and it's financial statement analysis. Okay, so in this chapter, we're going to do, we've been putting together these financial statements, and, we've been learning about the income statement and the balance sheet and statement of retained earnings and things of that nature. But what do people actually do with all these numbers? I mean, we know that it shows net profit and that they show what assets and liabilities and what our equity is and stuff like that. But how do we use that information to make decisions? So this chapter gets a little bit into that, and we're just going to kind of cover it briefly. We're not going to do too much of it, but I promise when you get into upper division classes, you'll do a lot more of this. All right. So we're going to start off with horizontal analysis. All right, horizontal means across. So we're going to be looking, we're going to be analyzing information across the years. All right, to see how things have changed from one year to the next. To see if things changed from one year to the next. Okay, so this is the first one that we're going to look at. Let me move it up. I went ahead and copied from the PowerPoint so that I could show you how to do it. Didn't I just move that? I thought I did. All right, so see here we have the income statement, and we've got the current year, last year. And so when you're analyzing, the first thing you do is subtract. So I'm just going to kind of copy the numbers over here and then show you the formulas. Okay, so the first thing you do is just subtract the $2018 amount minus the 2017. So the current year minus last year. And you find the dollar change. Right, so these are all dollars. And then the percent change is going to be the dollar change, so in this case 55,000, divided by the dollar amount for the earlier year. Divided by the earlier year. And then for this one, it's going to be the 4,000 divided by the 509, the earlier year. All right, and then these are percent places. Okay, so that's how you find the dollar change and the percent change. It's horizontal analysis. If you're doing a balance sheet, you would do it the same way. All right, so I'm just going to do the change. Well, cash, accounts receivable. I'll just do those two. And we have 2018, 2017. All right, so the change, it's the dollar change and then the percent. All right, so the dollar change is the current year minus the previous year. So in this case, cash went down. So current year minus the previous year. And then to do the percent, it's the dollar change divided by last year, the earlier year. Dollar change divided by the earlier year. Once again, remember these are percentages. actually, what I'm going to do, I'll make everything dollars. Make this one a percent. Well, I wanted to have the brackets, but oh well. I'm sure we could figure that out, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, but notice the percent is negative because it did decrease. All right, and then if you look over here, the dollar amounts will tie out, okay, as you go down, but the percentages are not necessarily. So like 6.8 minus 0.8 is not 17.3%. So this is not going to add up. So don't try to make it add up. All right, another type, but you can see what's happening here. Our sales went up by 6.85%. Cost of goods sold only went up by 0.8%. So that's a very minimal amount. So they basically were able to increase their sales price or sales without a requisite increase in cost of goods sold. And that's why their profit, their gross profit, went up by so much. Oh, I did it backwards, didn't I? There we go. All right, so gross profit ended up increasing by 17%, which is a pretty good amount. All right, and then down over here, as we keep looking, operating income actually increased by 77.2%, which is a big number. And, you know, part of that is because gross profit went up so much, but they also saved a little bit in administrative expenses. But overall expenses did increase a little bit, but not as much as gross profit. All right, and then operating income increased quite a bit, 77.2%. All right, and then they did pay a lot of interest, so interest expense increased quite a bit. All right, but overall, their net income increased from one year to the next. Look at it almost doubled, which would be 100% increase, but it increased by 84.6%. So that's a pretty good increase. All right. And you can see down here, they did the same thing for the balance sheet. And cash did go down, but their investments went up by 100%. They doubled their investments. So they spent some money on that. They also have quite a few people that haven't paid them yet. All right. Account receivables have gone up. And that's, you know, that's not necessarily good. People need to be paying you. They also bought quite a bit of equipment. All right. And then I didn't put the whole balance sheet on here, so we don't have the rest of it. But all right. Another type of horizontal analysis is a trend analysis. All right. A trend analysis looks at several years. And compares, well, and calculates a trend. I'm going to say that. Okay, so here they have it set up. Let me show you how they're doing it. We have net sales, 2018, 2017, 2016, 15, 2014. The earlier year is always the base year. All right, so in this case, 2014 is the base year. All right, these are all dollar amounts for net sales. All right, and then you express everything as a percentage of the base year. All right, so the base year is always 100%. Base year is always 100%. and then every other year is expressed as a percentage of the base year. Gosh, I can't spell anything today. All right, so for 2015, you would do 748 divided by 750. So equals 748 divided by the 750. All right, and notice it's less than 100% because sales went down, so it's going to be less than 100%. Then for this one, it's going to be 780 divided by 750. This one would be 803 divided by 748. I'm sorry, 750. And this one's going to be 858 divided by 750. And it would continue on. All right, so what you can see here is that while net sales decreased in 2015, it's increased steadily since. And by 2018, our sales are 114% of what they were in 2014. So they've basically gone up by 14% over the years. Okay, that's basically it for the horizontal analysis. I'm going to make another video for vertical analysis.